So it's finally time to announce the winners of our recent remix competition. Now, if you've no idea what's going on, just check the description. I've put all the info there, but most of you watching will know exactly what's going on. You probably took part in the competition. So the first thing I want to say is, from both Kennedy and myself, a huge thank you to everyone that took part. Not just the 800 plus people that submitted remixes, which is absolutely crazy, but also all the people over on the Discord server who were providing encouragement and feedback, regardless of whether you actually submitted a remix or not. That's the really special thing to see about these challenges. Now, of course, we're going to listen to all the winners in just a moment, but I want to say, while there's a list of winners and a short list, there are no losers in these community challenges. I've personally seen loads of you gain fans and followers through this competition, but more importantly, friends and collaborators. I've seen lots of people pairing up and working on their original music. And again, that's one of the powers of these sorts of competitions. We do focus on these remixes, but they ultimately grow you as a producer, as a mix engineer, or as an artist. The final thing I want to mention is we've tried to be as fair and sort of genre agnostic in the judging. Even if it's a genre that I wouldn't personally listen to, I'm really trying to listen through the mix and in the mix and listen to all those sort of special details you've added, and not try to just think, right, well, it's not something I would personally listen to, so I'm excluding it. I'm trying to be as sort of fair as possible. There's also some remixes that have like an absolutely phenomenal chorus or drop, but things weren't working in the verses, or maybe things were out of time or out of tune. So we've tried to look at the sort of bigger picture of the remix as well. Okay, onto the actual winners list now. It was hard enough to narrow it down to a top 100 list, let alone a top 10. So what we've done is we've actually sort of combined and made a top 15 list. It was just too difficult to narrow it down. So there's first, second, third, but then from 4th to 15th, I'm just ranking in order of submission. So if you submitted earlier, you're higher on the list. There was no way that I could hold up these remixes and say, yep, 5th is definitely better than 6th. It just doesn't work like that. Anyway, let's listen to a bit of all of these on the short list. I can't play the full songs, otherwise this announcement video is going to take like 2 hours, but I might skip through the songs or play the bits that really stood out to me. But in no order other than order of submission, here is the 15th place entry. I'll just fade that out here. So obviously that is a huge amount of energy to get us started with this list, just the way it worked out. But a huge congratulations to you, Sekiun. While I do find that drop to be really powerful and majestic, it was actually the introduction and the verses that really grabbed me. I'm not even a fan of sped up vocals, but I think you kept the vocals front and center in this remix, and the soundscape and just the sparkle and just how lush it was right at the start of the remix, that really sort of pulled me in and made me want to listen. And I actually think even if you'd, maybe tamed the chorus a little bit or cut it in half, it still would have had just the same amount of impact. This is a genre that's very easy to just put all the focus into the drop, but I actually think you went the other way. I think you really spent a lot of time in the verses and the bridge, really making a beautiful soundscape. So a huge congratulations to you. On the Discord server, that's where I'm going to be giving people detailed feedback. Any of these people on the list can ask me specifics about their remix, and that's sort of where I thrive. I'm better when I'm typing feedback out. I'm not actually very natural in front of a camera. I like sort of interacting with people on the server a little bit more. But a huge congratulations to you, and thank you for kicking off this top 15 list. So the next one is a little bit special as well, because it's a remix by one of the producers that originally worked on the song, although they worked on it 3 years ago. And I was hesitating whether I should have put this into the list, because obviously they had some experience with the song, but I did really want to show you. It's a really beautiful and majestic remix from Tony Chetta. Also going to reluctantly fade that one down. What I loved about this remix, absolutely adored, was the way you played with the tension in the song. It is a complete reimagination from the original song. If you go listen to the original, it is nothing like this, but I still think you've really pushed and pulled with the tension in a way that felt completely natural for the song, even though it was in that more majestic and ambient direction. I loved the propulsion and the sort of churning nature of the bass under the track, and I think the way you arranged and performed your strings and the string section and the various accompaniments was also handled in one of the most mature ways I've heard, not just in this remix contest, but all the way across the board. So fantastic work. Again, I'm not specifically ranking any of these in relation to each other. It's just yours was submitted a little bit later, so it's a little lower down on the list, but fantastic work, Tony. Okay, on to the next one. The groove that this producer has created just stuck out instantly, hooked me in. It stayed stuck in my brain. I kept coming back to it week after week when judging, and it was just like, yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. So let's take a listen.
How'd you do it? Was it worth the time? When you took them all one by one without a rhyme. So, what's your reason? Why'd you need them? Did you think I wouldn't catch you in the crime? You can try to play it off like you knew that band, sing the words like you understand, but when it comes down to what you did, oh babe, it was Grand Theft Audio. I gave you every song, went from 3 to 2-dimensional. Was it all that you were in it for? Grand Theft Audio, were all your crimes intentional? Go on, try to let me go. I'll be hiding in your radio. Grand
I hate to have to fade these out, but we just can't listen to the whole thing or the stream will get too long. I loved the way that you pushed and pulled again with the tension and the build and the rise in this remix. It's fairly easy to make something kind of sound funky, but this one really had the right energy. You kept the vocals front and center. It was all about the story of the song, and I just really liked it. Right away, I tagged it as a top 10 contender in my first listen through. I listened back thinking like, wait a minute, was I just overhyping it or something? And immediately it just got me right back into that groove again. So absolutely fantastic work. It's very easy to make something that sounds funky and sounds groovy, but when you actually get a track that really gets you moving, you can't fake that. So excellent work. Okay, on to the next remix. In 12th place, we have this remix.
How'd you do it? Was it worth the time? When you took them all one by one without a rhyme. So what's your reason? Why'd you need them? Did you think I wouldn't catch you in the crime? You can try to play it off like you knew that band, sing the words like you understand, but when it comes down to what you did, oh babe, it was Grand Theft Audio. I gave you every song I know, 3D2-dimensional. Was it all that you were in it for? Grand Theft Audio, where all your crimes intentional. Go and try to let me go. I'll be hiding in the radio. Grand Theft Audio.
Okay, so let's just fade that one out. This was one that initially sort of went over my head. I didn't quite understand it musically the first time I listened to it, but we put a pin in it anyway. And when I came back to it, I just kept listening through it. I did listen to most of the remixes more than once. And the more I listened, especially in headphones, just more elements started sort of jumping out to me. And I could listen again further through the mix and hear all this stuff you'd done. And I just felt that your mix had a really interesting melodic energy, and it had a lot of cohesion and density. Even though there's things that I wanted to maybe adjust in the mix, a good song can cope with having the mix sort of fall behind a little bit, and I don't want any of that to take away from the huge amount of effort and musicality that you've poured into your remix. So good job, Steve. I've also chosen pretty much what feels like the hottest day of the year to record this stream, and I have no AC in the studio, so sorry, I'm getting a bit getting a bit hot here. But anyway, the next remix, this one is in a genre that a lot of people write off because it can often seem quite formulaic, quite sort of copy and paste. But what this producer has done to keep the vocals centered in the remix, you've really pushed and pulled with the energy, and you've made sure that the vocals are fully incorporated into the remix. So it's not just a simple sort of copy and paste. I think this remix is overflowing with musicality and creativity. I think you've done a fantastic job and really sort of revived the track with this remix. So let's take a listen.
Was it worth the time? When you took them all one by one without a rhyme. So, what's your reason? Why'd you need them? Did you think I wouldn't catch you in the crime? You can try to play it off like you knew that band, sing the words like you understand, but when it comes down to what you did, oh babe, it was Grand Theft Audio. I gave you every song you know, the 3 to 2-dimensional. Was it all that you were in it for? Grand Theft Audio, where all your crimes intentional. Go on, try to let me go. I'll be hiding in your radio. Grand Theft Audio.
So let's just fade that one out as well. This is a remix that I just never got sick of, never got tired of. Every time I put it on, it just brought the energy up in the room. And again, you know, it kind of like sounds basic if you look at it from like a big bird's eye view, but when you zone in on the track, the amount of ear candy and the amount that you've integrated the vocals in with the track is really what makes this special. And yeah, you know, definitely all of these are a personal favorite of mine, but I love the energy you created in the remix. There were very few that really sort of got the speakers moving, and you had a fantastic mix and excellent master on it. So fantastic work. For the next remix, my only notes were problematically good. Every single community challenge or remix competition they've entered, I've really enjoyed their submissions. Of course, they were going to make the shortlist. This remix is absolutely incredible. Completely unique and different direction and genre for this, but the programming, the skill required to program something like this is absolutely extraordinary, and I can't wait for you to hear it. So let's take a listen.
What's your reason? Why'd you need 'em? Did you think I wouldn't catch you in the crime? You can try to play it off like you knew that band, sing the words like you understand, but when it comes down to what you did, oh babe, it was Grand Theft Audio. I gave you every song, you know, went from 3 to 2-dimensional. Was it all that you were in it for? Grand Theft Audio, were all your crimes intentional? Go on, try to let me go, I'll be hiding in your radio. Grand Theft Audio.
Again, reluctantly gonna have to fade this one out. I literally had to change my shirt. It's so hot in here right now and I had to close the windows. Pyro, this one was absolutely astonishing. It had me hooked from start to finish, just like all of your other challenge submissions. It's definitely a clear server favorite as well. I think a lot of people appreciated what you did here. You also said that you had to rush the arrangement because you had to leave. It doesn't sound rushed at all to me. It sounds absolutely fantastic. So, you know, if you do have an update or anything and you want to change anything, send that over and let's take a listen. But really good work and more than deserving of a spot in the top 15. This next remix has one of the smoothest choruses of any of the remixes submitted, and it also has some really interesting and unique melodic choices throughout the song. So let's take a listen.
I'll be hiding in your radio. Grand Theft Audio. Top down driving, taking notes. Always out here keeping score. Pickpocket DJ Troubadour. Let's just see how far you go. Grand Theft Audio. I gave you every song, you know. With 3 to 2-dimensional. Was that all that you were in it for?
Really good work, Leon. Congratulations. I really enjoyed it. I loved the way that you modulated all of those filters and the cutoffs to make that synth really smooth. And I loved the way that you stuttered everything and arranged it. And also you took a few sort of bold or unique melodic choices on the chords and the melodies on the keys. And I actually thought that that was a really bold move to make, and it sounded really good in my opinion. Coming in at 8th place is one of the best sort of future bass or future house submissions. I know these genres are often sort of very flexible, but you'll hear what I mean. I thought this chorus and drop was executed really well, but it was also supported by really nice work in the intro and the verses. Let's take a listen.
Keep
I'll just fade that out here. I really felt that this was very majestic. I know that you're relatively new to the genre, but I love the way in the second chorus you reincorporated the vocals again and you kept it really about the vocals and about the message in the song, but all around fantastic production, really good arrangement. In its current position, I really like it. Good work. In 7th place, by far one of the funkiest remixes we had submitted. Let's take a listen.
How'd you do it? Was it worth the time? When you took them all one by one without a rhyme. So, what's your reason? Why'd you need them? Did you think I wouldn't catch you in the crime? You can try to play it off like you knew that band, sing the words like you understand, but when it comes down to what you did, oh babe, it was grand.
Just fade that down here as well. Now, while the choruses are very funky, of course, it was actually the verses and the intro that really pulled me into this one again. And that's a theme throughout these as well. I'm not just being sort of blown away by really cool choruses. It's the whole song. And I thought that the way you handled and pushed and pulled the energy and the groove in the verses was really, really special. Of course, all of your sound design is absolutely on point, and that means that the mix sort of mixes itself because all the elements are just doing what they're supposed to do. Really good work. This next remix has some of the most interesting vocal chops, or at least some of the most catchy. And in the verses, you'll hear, I was like, oh, where's this going? And then it all makes sense in the chorus. And then on the next listen through, I just really loved it. So let's take a listen.
How'd you do it? Was it worth the time? When you took them all one by one without a rhyme. So, what's your reason? Why'd you need them? Did you think I wouldn't catch you in the crime? One, or what's your reason? Or come on, one man. Or why'd you need them? Or come on, one or what's your reason? Or come on, one man. Or why'd you need them? Or
Once again, I'll just fade that out. I love the way that while the vocal chops did some really exciting and unique things, you kept those questions from Kennedy front and center, which meant that the spirit of the song was in no way lost. The remix was just a really great reimagining of the song. I love the grooves. I loved how punchy all the drums were and all the sort of stop-start nature of the groove as well. I felt it had a really cool propulsion. Fantastic work. On to number 5. This is such a cool remix. It's really sort of electronic nature. It's got this really cool respace, but the groove and the propulsion is just absolutely immense. So let's take a listen.
My head, I feel your breath on the side of my neck. I feel your lips when I'm alone in my bed, but I can't catch it. I saw the end of the road when I got in the car. You lied and told me to ignore my intuition now. Wish that I had listened. God, I couldn't stop this, but now I'm too far in it. If we're gonna crash, hit the gas, fucking gun. If we're going too fast, make sure the impact kills me. I don't wanna remember what I had. If you don't wanna keep me crash, touch me and tell me to put my head back as though that would save me. Please don't let me remember what we had. If you don't wanna keep me, shift gears, my mind is falling backwards. Flashbacks to you drinking Manhattans all the way up.
There was something so undeniably cool about your remix, Zemitone. I just thought it was really good from start to finish. Again, just like the others, I like that you kept the message of the song intact while just blending it with your own production. really fantastic remix. And in fourth place, just before we get to the top three, this remix was a great reimagination of the original song. It's got some quite traditional elements, but I had to go listen to the original and go like, wait a minute, this sounds a lot like the original. It sounds nothing like the original. It's just reimagined in a sort of pop rock direction. Let's take a listen. I just fade this one out. What you'll hear if you go to the remix, hear the whole song. I love the way that you incorporated the bridge in the song. I thought that you performed the piano really beautifully there, and I like that you kept increasing the energy throughout, so the second chorus felt like a real payoff as well. And although some would say it's more sort of organic elements, it might be a more traditional direction to go in, I think you balanced everything perfectly, and it felt like just another version of the original song more than, say, a remix. But I just absolutely loved it, and there was no way that that was gonna exclude it from a top 10 or a top 15 list. So now we're on to the top three, and I know there's a lot of suspense here, so I don't want to really keep you waiting any longer, but I want to give a little bit of an explanation for each song before I just play it. So this remix here, I thought right off the bat was really, really fearless. You went in a completely unique direction. It's not what anyone would call a typical remix whatsoever. The amount of skill and talent required to produce something like this is absolutely off the charts, but you've also sort of kept it sane at the same time. So on a first listen, this is probably going to sound a little bit insane to you, depending on the music you listen to. But lots of the producers that were even in the top 15 list here were commenting such praise for this remix, wanting them, to give them a sound design course or a lesson. When you do produce music, you can completely appreciate how absolutely insane it would be to create something like this. And it's by far the most interesting and complex vocal arranging of any of the remixes. It might catch you off guard on the first listen, but it's just going to get stuck in your head, and you're going to want to listen to it over and over again and try to figure out how on earth it was produced. So in third place, here we go.
How'd you do it? Was it worth the time? When you took them all one by one without a rhyme. So what's your reason? Why'd you need them? Did you think I wouldn't catch you in the crime? You can try to play it. You can try to play it off like it. You can try to play it and sing the words like sing the words like you understand, but sing the words like you understand, but what Grand Theft Audio. I gave you every song, went from 3 to 2-dimensional. Was it all that you were in it for? Grand Theft Audio, were all your crimes intentional? Go on, try to let me go. I'll be hiding in your radio. Grand Theft Audio, Grand Theft Audio. I gave you undercover in the middle of summer, stereo blasting with the windows down. Not a care in the world now that you got that sound. And every time you play listen, you think you gotta play with it. Think you're Danny Ocean with a duffel bag, breaking out of the Bellagio, looking like that. Undercover in the middle of summer, stereo blasting with the windows down. Not a care
So obviously the ending there is very abrupt and absolutely nuts. This was submitted with just 2 minutes to go. As you can see, even their description was, "Hi, my remix, ah." So they had only a few seconds left and they've written more in their messages. But this remix, it was really the first half that captured me. Obviously I love the second half, but I can appreciate how rushed it was to try and get this over the finish line. This remix, the complexity of it really, the first time I listened to it, I just thought that's just too much. And then little bits got stuck in my head. And the more I listened to it, the more all the rhythms and all of the melodies made a lot more sense to me. And I really, really loved it. Some of the remixes, you know, on the first listen, you're like, that's it, that's the top 10. And others take a little bit of time to grow on you. And this was one of those, and it's a very well-deserved third place. Congratulations, Nell. I'll be sending all of those prizes out to you. And again, you know, as we go through this video, a big thank you, of course, to all the sponsors for providing all of those prizes. And in second place, this remix is a lot more sort of calm and traditional than the third place, but right away I loved the way that this track just plunged me into a soundscape. I really felt like I was at home in the track right away. From the first listen, I loved it. I immediately marked it as a top 10 for sure, and each time I came back I just heard more and more. So huge congratulations. Let's take a listen.
How'd you do it? Was it worth the time? When you took them all one by one without a rhyme. So, what's your reason? Why'd you need them? Did you think I wouldn't catch you in the crime? You can try to play it off like you knew that band, sing the words like you understand, but when it comes down to what you did, oh babe, it was Grand Theft Audio. I gave you every song, you know, went from 3 to 2-dimensional. Was it all that you were in it for? Grand Theft Audio, were all your crimes intentional? Go on, try to let me go. I'll be hiding in your radio. Grand Theft Audio. Undercover in the middle of summer, stereo blasting with the windows down, not a care in the world now that you got that sound. And every time you playlist it, you think you got away with it. Think you're Danny Ocean with your tough folk back, breaking out of the Bellagio, looking like that. I gave you every song, you know, went from 3 to 2-dimensional. Was it all that you were in it for? Grand Theft Audio, were all your crimes intentional? Try to let me go. I'll be hiding in your radio. Grand Theft Audio.
So absolutely flawless execution. One of the things I loved most about this remix was the way you incorporated the vocals into the chorus. So it wasn't like you just had a really smooth verse, lovely intro, like all of that's perfect. It wasn't like you just did that and then just threw in a super cool chorus out of nowhere. The chorus was built out of the vocals. You incorporated all of those vocals into all of those chord stacks and stutters, and I just thought that was just incredibly classy. It didn't feel at all copy paste. It felt extremely tasteful and extremely well executed. So of course I'm going to be getting you all of these prizes. I'll put them up on the screen. I'll be in contact with you to sort all of that out, but a very, very well deserved second place. I just honestly, I felt that this remix didn't put a single foot wrong. It was truly a perfect remix in my eyes. I haven't even actually said your username yet. Jovinci or Jovinci, I presume. Yeah, absolutely fantastic remix. I enjoyed it start to finish, every second of it. So now it's time for the winning remix. And I know this is the moment that we've all really been waiting for. The winner receives all of these prizes, of course. What really stuck out to me about this remix and what really put it on the top was the way that you clearly created your own soundscapes, you created your own track, but you also incorporated other stems too, in a way that I just felt was incredibly cohesive, made sense. You sort of dropped the stems you didn't need, you incorporated bits that served your production, and I felt that it was a remix, it was a reimagination of the original song. The quality was incredible, the mix of course was excellent, but more importantly, the creativity, the musical ideas, all the extra things you've hidden and buried in the track really grabbed me on the first listen, and it kept me coming back time and time again. It got completely stuck in my head, of course, but I really appreciate all of the creativity and musicality. So I'll let the track sort of speak for itself. The winner of the competition. I don't even know how to pronounce your username, but I'll put it up on the screen and then we'll have a chat in just a moment. Enjoy.
How'd you do it? Was it worth the time? When you took them all one by one without a rhyme. So, what's your reason? Why'd you need them? Did you think I wouldn't catch you in the crime? You can try to play it off like you knew that band, sing the words like you understand, but when it comes down to what you did, oh babe. You can try to play it off like you knew that band, sing the words like you understand, but when it comes down to what you did, oh babe, it was Grand Theft Auto. Undercover, in the middle of summer, stereo blasting with the windows down, not a care in the world, now that you got that sound. And every time you playlist it, you think you got away with it. Think you're Danny Ocean with a duffel bag, breaking out of the Bellagio, looking like that. I gave you every song, you know, went from 3 to 2-dimensional. Was that all that you were in it for? Grand Theft Auto. Audio.
So a huge congratulations to you. I think it's Leylint or Lail1NT. I'm not sure how to pronounce your username. Some of you've got to make it easier for me with the usernames on Discord. But anyway, I felt that your remix was incredibly unique. It had, a great propulsion, a great bounce, so it wasn't like completely off the rails, but I just felt that the way you incorporated the original stems with your production was so cohesive, it carried the energy incredibly well, and you kept giving the listener something to keep listening for. You kept switching up the rhythm in some way, or you had sort of like an outro that kind of gave you a little bit more. And again, this is one of those remixes that got completely stuck in my head. And again, I loved it from start to finish. Now, a huge congratulations to you. I'll be sending all the prizes, as I've said. But I want to say anyone in these, the top 3, the top 15, just reach out to me on Discord or publicly in the Discord chats. If you've got any questions and want feedback, I'd love to give you any detailed feedback or analysis on your tracks as much as I can. I didn't want this announcement video to be like 3 hours long, but I'd love to get into all the details. with you. There is an extra prize for the winners, and that is a copy of my new plugin. I did hope to have it finished by now, but I'm just tweaking a few things to make it perfect. I'm finishing up the UI. So if you don't want to miss the announcement for my new plugin, make sure that you're following me here on YouTube and have your notifications turned on, or follow me on Instagram with the notifications turned on, because that's sort of like the best place to get updates from me. I did hope it would be finished by now, but I wanted it to be absolutely perfect. And there's a few more features I added after getting some feedback. So I'm going to make it absolutely perfect. I know Kennedy also has sort of like a bunch of favorites as well. And I've incorporated a bunch of her favorites into this as well, because we had so much overlap. But I do believe she might reach out to some of you to try and, work on a track and maybe release the remix into the world. But of course, she'll reach out to you if that's the case. I know that she's got a few of her own favorites as well. And I do want to say one more time, a big thank you to Kennedy. Judging these competitions is absolutely no joke. It takes a lot out of you sort of mentally and emotionally, just holding up the different tracks and having to know that someone's put like 40 hours into a remix, but you've got to put it like below another one. It feels like quite a harsh process, but I've really tried to be incredibly fair with my judging. I also want to say a huge thank you to my wife for helping me stay sane during this time. A huge thank you to her, because without my wife, we wouldn't even have results at this point. It'd probably take me another month before any results were announced. Thank you again to everybody that submitted to the contest. I'm going to head over to Discord now to sort of like for the after party. But I want to say, we will be running more contests and competitions and community challenges in the future. But it'll probably be a couple of months before we do another remix challenge. But there's always stuff happening over on the Discord. So look, I'll see you over there. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.